Holy shit, man. We've done more than half of the maps after this video, or actually already. Holy shit. Launch, and I already forgot the other. Oh, Nuketown. Launch and Nuketown. Here we go. Best ninja defusing spots on every Black Ops 1 map. Launch, I would say, I should have rated every map. I can't remember all the maps in order that we've done. But I want to say, let's see. Off the top of my memory, Array, 10 out of 10. Cracked, 7.5 out of 10. Crisis, 10 out of 10. What's after Crisis? Hanoi? C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Yeah, Hanoi. Probably Hanoi, Havana. Hanoi, 6 out of 10. Havana, 5 out of 10. Maybe Jungle is next, I believe, maybe. I don't know. Jungle, 9 out of 10. But anyways, talking about launch, I'd say 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 maybe. I don't know. First spot, right here. Simple spot, nice and simple. Just hide right here. You're going to be seen if they look at you. It's one of these maps. There's not a lot of grass. Right here, because they'll come from here a lot of the time. Even if they do this, they're not going to see you. Even if they run this way looking, they won't see you a lot of the time. Even if they, come from here this way, they're going to come over here, they're going to look here, they're going to look here, and because they don't get shot right there, they're going to say, oh, no one's down there, whatever. They'll come around this way, they might even do one of these, or whatever, and then they'll just run this way, and they'll be like, alright, let's plant. Most common plant spots that I have seen is, I've seen here, like right here, and I've just full on seen them, like, run from this way, lay down right here and plant. So that's why this spot works so well. It's because why would they be facing this way when they plant? Because for them to be facing this way, this would mean that they would have had to come from here, the middle of the map. No one goes in the middle of the map. I mean, people do, but it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not that common. Granted, they could come from up here and come this way and maybe plant the bomb, in which case they would see you, unfortunately. But I'd say 80 to 90% of the time they're going to come from here, or they're going to come from over here, they're going to come here like this, and plant. And then you just come up behind them, lay down, defuse. Another spot I've used this spot right here, which actually benefits you, if they come from this way. You know what I mean? If they come from this way right here, they might not be fully paying attention. They might lay down and plant like this. The whole right side, the bomb is blocking the vision. So all you got to do, if you see them planting, get up, hug this right here, come around like that, lay down, boom, defuse. That is a pretty good spot. Those are the only two spots I use on this map personally. I've seen people use, I've seen people like go over here. Where was that spot I seen that one time? I can't remember. Oh no, I've seen someone use this spot. I've seen someone use this spot right here before. I've seen someone use this, come around, jump. The only downside is a lot of time they'll plant on this side, so you kind of have to go around and hope they don't see you, and then lay down defuse. So I would say in order, number 1 best spot right there, number 2 best spot right here, because I've used this spot quite a bit. And like I said, they always come from here. If they come from over this way, you're pretty much dead. So you can try this spot. I've used it a lot, but I actually gravitated towards this when I was younger, way more than this, because this spot is just, you know what I mean? Like if you're coming from here, like, you're going to be looking over here and then over here, and you're just going to run down. A lot of the time they won't look over this way because they just came from this way. They're not going to look. They're not going to come over here and be like, oh, hey, I wonder if this is safe. They just came from over there. You know what I mean? Sometimes they might, but a lot of the time they'll just boom, boom. They'll run in, and you're on their screen for maybe half a second. So, number 1 best spot, boom. Number 2 best spot, boom. Number 3, maybe this. You could do this, or you could do this spot that I showed you right here. I'd recommend having a camera here, personally. And if you want a good camera spot, I would just run over, put it in this right here. Boom. And obviously, they won't see it a lot of the time because they're coming from here. They're not going to see it. Even if they run this way and then turn around, they're not going to see it. If you come from this way, clearly they'll see the big green flashing light or whatever. But good camera spot, and then you just know what way they're facing. You know what way to approach them for the defuse. And I just realized on Jungle last game, I never went and looked for my tomahawk, unfortunately. I was I did a random cross map and then went to look for it, but I never did. In terms of launch, there's a few things you can do with this. Here is what I used to do to get on top of the bomb. You need to come on this side, not the other side. This side, hop down like this, lay down. It's a bit risky. They can see you. If you want, you can lay down this way. I don't know which way actually exposes you more, personally. I don't know. You know, you could do that. What I tend to do, I would come in this way, and I would lay right here, and these right here, I would just lay down right here with these, and I would just try to, like, blend in. You don't really want to do here because they'll come in and they'll look over here. So you can, if you can quickly make it here, a lot of the time they'll throw a random concussion or a flashbang. They'll get a hit marker, and usually they might check the corner, but like if they flash right here, they're gonna come over here. They're gonna crouch behind this. They're gonna look over here. A lot of the time they'll think you're behind this little wall right here, so they might not fully check this. They might look like this, but if they're aiming down sight and checking the corner, which they're probably going to be aiming down sight before they do it, they're not going to see you because the gun's blocking a lot of the time. Then they'll just turn around and go, and they'll check over here. But if I was flashing here, I'd be like, boom, flashbang. Okay, I got a hit marker. Where is he? He's not over here. He's not over here. Let's run over here and see if we can get him. And they'll run right past you. You can go up there. You can go here. You could even go up there. Another spot that I used to use is I would go over here behind the stairs, and I would just prone right here and hope that they don't see me, which I actually don't fully understand what this looks like. I'm going to have to see this real quick. I mean, obviously, if you know I'm there, you know what I mean, but yeah, that's pretty obvious. But I used to use that spot as a kid. Whenever they're coming in and planting the bomb, a lot of the time they'll come in and they'll check and they'll just plant like this, in which case this is another one of those spots where they're behind the bomb and their vision's completely blocked. So you can come in from, if you're over here like this, you know, like, let's set up a camera. If you're looking over here, shit, that's not putting a good angle, but you know what I mean. Let's do that. Boom. I'm not that visible. You know what I mean? If you angle it correctly and like hold a decoy, you're not too visible. Not too visible. I know that cameras don't have colors and shit, but yeah, no, that is launch right there. That is pretty simple. I've always wanted to get back up on these. It's been so long. Hell yeah. Who's here? Somebody's here. But, alright, let's do it. And yippee. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh,
good job,
wait,
team.
what?
Get ready for the next round.
I just, what? What?
Search and destroy.
I just respawned.
Destroy the objective.
That's how you dolphin dive
We got
tomahawk,
the bomb.
okay. Holy shit, what the hell? I just died on search and destroy and respawned. How the fuck did that work? Sorry, that actually just threw me off.
That's how
Alright,
it's done. Good
that's
job,
launch.
team.
These episodes are getting a little bit shorter because I was yapping too much in the first 2 or 3 episodes for like 20, 25, 30 minutes, but yeah, we're kind of just getting straight to the point because my voice kind of hurts. We got this, and then we got 2 more episodes after this. We got Radiation, Goated Map, Summit, 10 out of 10, Villa, 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, WMD, fucking perfect in every way. But for now, let's go to Nuketown, and then we'll do the rest tomorrow. Let's do it. Whew, good old Trinity Avenue.
Search and destroy.
Alright, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. I love making these, man. This is so fun. Most common one I use is A, obviously, because it's right here, but A doesn't get planted on enough, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on A. If you want to get fancy, you can do this right here as a spot, prone right here. They'll walk in from here, but a lot of time they'll come in from here. If you really want, you can do a statue. You can just go right here and hold a tomahawk. I wouldn't recommend it. The one and only spot I recommend is right here. I recommend this. I haven't personally died in this spot. I actually had a guy on stream come around this way like this, and literally I think he laid down or he stood still, I can't remember, and was like aiming here, and I literally just boop, knifed him. Only other spot other than that I would recommend is coming right here and proning. it's not the best spot. You know, it's not the greatest spot. And I won't lie, for B, there's not a lot of options here. You kind of have to bank on the fact that they don't come all the way over here and look this way. You can use this as a spot. I don't really recommend it. You can use this. This is a little bit better because if they come from over this way, you know, there's a chance they won't see you laying there. And then if they just, you know, never come over here, then they won't see you. You know what I mean? So you can do that. You could get away with that. Another spot which it used to work, but it's one of those things where it doesn't really work anymore, is you could get in the back of the Jeep here and you could lay down, assuming that you're like decently hidden, you know, unless you get shot from the window. Like, theoretically this could work. I used to use it a lot. I also used to use this spot a lot because people didn't really like come up. I don't know why. Nowadays they do because head glitching, I guess, but just there's not a lot of spots on Nuketown, man. I'm not gonna lie. I use this spot the most, I would say. This spot right here. And then other than that, it would be this spot right here, prone. You know, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, I'll come over here or something or whatever, come over here where I can see the bomb, just stand here and wait, or, you know, maybe even here, but it's not ideal at all. I would say number 1 best spot right there. Number 1 here, number 2 here, number 3 in the Jeep. And I'll actually try to see if I can see what it looks like when you are laying in the Jeep here real quick. You gotta make sure, oh yeah, you gotta make sure your feet aren't showing through. Maybe turning this way would be good. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now let's do the camera from up here, but there's no color to it, so it's not gonna look the way it needs to, but just assume we're looking from over here. I might change this to the number 2 best spot. Alright, my legs are sticking straight up in the air. Wonderful. That's the one thing that's risky about this, is you never know when that's going to happen. If you want to prevent that, maybe try it like this. And just hold something here and hope that you don't get seen. I don't know how it looks with color, but yeah. Wow, that missed. Yeah, that is this episode. This was a much shorter episode, because he's launched a very simple, to-the-point map. You know, with some spots. Nuketown is really not a good map for ninja defusing, unfortunately. But that is what I'd recommend. Am I gonna respawn on... Bro, I respawned on Search and Destroy again. What the fuck? Am I insane? Hold on. What is happening? But I'm so confused. I'm so confused right now. I switch teams though, it's over, right? Like, okay, but yeah, no, let's go ahead and end this game. We're gonna jump into we're gonna actually do, we'll keep it. We'll just keep it, like, episode for episode. This one was 13 minutes, still I managed to yap for 13 minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the last 2 episodes done real quick so I can go to bed, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It wasn't the most helpful, but it showed you some decent spots. And yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next episode.